Alright, so in this video, I want to talk about everything we know so far about version 2.1 of Zenless Zone Zero. From the new characters, free rewards, summer content, leaks, and even some official insights from the devs themselves, there's a lot happening in this patch. Also, since the channel just hit 4,000 subscribers, huge thanks to everyone who's been watching and supporting. I'm doing a special giveaway in this video. I'm giving away 5 Internaut memberships, and the rules to enter are super simple. Just leave a comment down below. That's it. I'll randomly pick 5 winners exactly 1 week from today, and I'll announce them in the next update. And hey, we're not stopping there. Once the channel hits 5,000 subs, I'll be giving away 10 more Internaut memberships, so if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next patch news or the next giveaway. If you want to save up to 23% on your Zenless Zone Zero top-ups, check out lootbar.gg. Here you can buy 3,280 monochromes for only $39, while it's $50 in-game. So this way you're saving $11 on LootBar. I just entered my UID, picked my server, no password needed, and just like that, the monochromes appeared on my account. And look, I still got the first-time double bonus, same as with the in-game top-up. LootBar has over 20,000 positive reviews on Trustpilot and more than 90,000 positive user reviews across Hoyoverse games. I've been using it for over a year now, even for my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. New users also get an extra 10% off coupon, so click the link in the description and start saving today. Let's start with what most people are probably wondering about: the banners. Right now, all signs point to Yuzua and Alice being the 2 main characters debuting in this patch. Both of them are from the Spook Shack faction, and they've already been seen extensively in beta tests. We don't have full official confirmation on the phases yet, but based on internal testing patterns and how often they're paired together in dev test squads, it seems very likely that they'll both show up in the same phase, probably the first half of the patch. Yuzua is shaping up to be a pretty versatile physical support unit. She's not just about raw buffs either. She offers attack bonuses, energy regeneration, and even applies resistance penetration, which opens up a lot of synergy for physical-focused or anomaly hybrid teams. That means she's not just locked into one comp. She's someone you can plug into a lot of different lineups if you're aiming for faster rotations or more sustained damage output. Then there's Alice, who's bringing in something a little more explosive. She's a physical anomaly damage dealer, and from what we've seen, her entire kit revolves around building up anomaly status and then bursting it for massive physical damage once it hits a critical threshold. So if you enjoy playstyles that scale off buildup and then release all at once, she might be a fun one to watch. Plus, her visual style is seriously standout, probably one of the most eye-catching designs they've introduced so far in ZZs. Now, on top of those two, we've seen some pretty reliable hints that Miyabi and Yanagi might also be returning as reruns. These two have shown up multiple times in squad setups during testing, and historically, when characters pop up like that, it's a strong sign they'll be featured in upcoming banners. Miyabi still holds up really well thanks to her high physical burst and defense shredding, while Yanagi brings constant field pressure and strong mobility, especially in multi-target fights. So if you miss them during their first runs, or you're building a Spook Shack comp, this could be your chance. Alright, so what about the rewards? Because honestly, it looks like Hoyoverse is finally stepping things up here, not just in gameplay, but also with a bit of generosity. According to Flying Flame, version 2.1 will give out 20 free encrypted master tapes just for logging in during the update. That's not bad at all for a single event, especially in a game that's still relatively new and hasn't always been super generous with pulls. These pulls are most likely tied to the new Summer Festival event, which, if you've played Genshin before, you already know what that probably means. We're talking about themed mini-games, special missions, bonus rewards, and, of course, cosmetics. This whole seasonal vibe has been missing from ZZZ until now, so seeing them go for a full summer event is actually pretty exciting. There's already been a ton of buzz about it, and we even got a look at a brand new beach location, which looks like a dedicated summer zone. There's a souvenir shop, a surfboard rental spot, chill boats at the dock, a lighthouse, and even sun umbrellas with deck chairs. It's not just background flavor. This seems like a full seasonal map that'll host event content and maybe even mini-game hubs or limited-time vendors. And with this location comes something fans have been asking for: summer skins. We already know that Alice is getting one right on release, which is a huge push for a brand new character. Yuzuha's also getting a summer outfit, and even the main characters, Belle and Wise, are finally getting skins of their own. Belle's look has a poetic, stargazing by the sea aesthetic, and Wise gives off those classic summer anime beach vibes with watermelon and sea breeze flavor text. If you're into cosmetics or just want the cast to feel more alive and seasonal, this is a good patch for that. Now we don't have exact confirmation on how these skins will be unlocked, but if we go off previous patterns in both ZZZ and Genshin, it's probably going to be a mix. Some skins will likely be tied to the summer event and available through gameplay or event currency, while others might end up in the premium shop or require some kind of special currency. Either way, there's finally variety here, and that alone makes 2.1 feel like it's trying to evolve the game's identity beyond just story missions and grinding. And speaking of the game evolving, we've also got new official information from developer interviews that sheds light on where ZZ's is headed after 2.0. One of the biggest things they confirmed is that multiplayer is actively being worked on. They're planning to add co-op modes like joint challenges, weekly bosses, and dungeon content. That's huge. Right now, the game is entirely single-player, so the fact that they're already preparing systems for co-op and even PvP-style events, reportedly inspired by things like Fall Guys, shows that they're aiming for long-term variety. They also mentioned something that's been a hot topic in the community: the lack of male characters. According to the devs, more male agents are coming, including new S-rank units, and it's something they're directly trying to balance out. That's good news for anyone who felt the roster was a little too one-sided. Another interesting reveal is that we'll soon meet a new idol faction in one of the upcoming 2.x patches. That hasn't been shown in-game yet, but it already opens the door for a totally different aesthetic. Maybe even new gameplay mechanics. Plus, the devs hinted that characters like Ellen, who were already buffed once, might still receive additional tuning in the future. So if you're a fan of a particular unit that feels a bit behind, there's still hope they'll climb back into relevance. They also teased that some A-rank characters may eventually receive S-rank upgrades, possibly entirely new versions of them. That's something we've seen before in games like Honkai, and it could give lesser-used characters a second life without having to abandon their fanbase. There's also a pretty cool insight into how character strength is tied to story significance. For example, Miyabi is considered one of the strongest characters right now because she's so central to the narrative. And on that note, Belle and Wise, our protagonists, aren't just going to sit on the sidelines forever. They'll become stronger and more involved in battles and the story over time. Defensive units were also mentioned, and this one's kind of easy to miss, but it's actually important. The devs said they're deliberately designing defense units to offer unique playstyles, not just copy-pasted tank mechanics. That's why in Season 1 we only got Caesar, and now in Season 2 they're planning to introduce more tanks, but each with a different feel. That could make team building way more interesting, especially if you want to experiment with comps beyond just raw damage. They're also working on chain attacks, which sounds like some kind of team-based combo system. And they're not stopping there. New high-difficulty content is also in the pipeline for those who enjoy endgame challenges. And the narrative itself is getting deeper, with more focus on character arcs and lore expansion. So yeah, whether you're here for the gameplay, the characters, the cosmetics, or just the world building, version 2.1 feels like the start of something much bigger. Between the summer festival vibes, free rewards, exciting banners, and major roadmap reveals, it's a patch that feels like it's pushing ZZZ into a new phase. Let me know what you're most excited about, and if you want more updates like this, including future breakdowns, event guides, and banner predictions, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Save up to 23% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. Just enter your UID and server. The link is in the description.